So tell me exactly what it is that you are introducing at the city council level in Seattle. You have been for years calling for a head tax on Amazon. It was a hard-fought measure that was then reversed. But here, Amazon is reaping the benefits of the pandemic with record profits, but not exactly doing much for workers.
Absolutely, Sonali. I think, as you were alluding to, not just in Seattle or in the United States, but globally, it is becoming clear to people. The pandemic has really exposed the fundamental nature of the capitalist system, which is a global system, which is that even in such an emergency situation, big businesses, the big banks, the billionaire class are so focused on their profits that even in this situation, they will not make any moves towards addressing the fact that the brunt of this crisis once again falls on ordinary people. So what ordinary people are going to face, working people, struggling small businesses, all the marginalized billions of people in this world, we are not only facing the COVID-19 virus, we are also facing capitalism. And so fundamentally the problem is that system itself. And Amazon is a very good example of how even before this pandemic started, they were deeply exploiting their workforce. And in the city of Seattle, they have a corporate tax haven, which means we have massive inequality and a housing affordability crisis. And then now in this pandemic, as you said, they are reaping more and more profits. And so the legislation that I've brought forward from my office to tax big businesses like Amazon is even more urgent now that we are in the coronavirus situation. And what I'm proposing is that the city council pass this legislation to raise $500 million by taxing big businesses like Amazon. First of all, this year, to immediately make available coronavirus relief and assistance to households that are facing the brunt of this crisis. For example, the workers that have been laid off, the gig economy workers like rideshare drivers that have no income. And then starting next year, that it go back to social housing and the Green New Deal.
So what sort of support do you have on the City Council for this measure? I know that you do have some colleagues on that body that have shown their solidarity to these issues, but there's a lot that have opposed it and that have often sided with companies like Amazon.
Yes, that's a very important question. It's referring to the strategy to win this legislation as a concrete victory. And yes, there is another Councilmember Morales, who has agreed to co-sponsor this legislation with me, which shows the strength of the movement. But I think